How's it going, guys? Cracked Rack here. Today we're going to be making a really objective video, at least not my usual jokes, not pulling down my pants and busting it down in a woman's face, or a man's. That's not what I'm doing. I am talking about AlchemistArea. Now, as you know, AlchemistArea has been circulating the deeply underground, obscure YouTube hallways, and I think it's so stupid. I think it's one of the dumbest displays I've seen in a long time. By the way, normally in every video now I advertise my book, but that's not really appropriate here, so go check my book out or wait for the new one. Now, I really do just want to make another funny joke, like in the lolcow video I was going to make, but whatever, we will settle on this. Something came up. So if you're like a die-hard watcher of me, and you saw my video the other day of AlchemistArea, of me doing that reaction to their interview, because he's basically a lolcow that came back to do an interview, at least that's how it's marketed, and I gave my reaction to it, and pretty much Rex, the interviewer, reacted to my video pretty much just having a rage tantrum disguised as constructive criticism. Now, I don't think this is an unhealthy resentment because I would say that the resentment's been building for a long time. So, in that case, let's respond to his reaction video, which I do not think is good at all. I don't think the interview is very good. I don't think this video is very good. But honestly, between the two, I prefer the interview to this video. Rex is not a bad content creator by any means, but goddamn, some of his videos, man, like maybe 1 out of every 50, sucks balls. Alright, let's jump into this horrible reaction video. Not looking forward to this. I already saw it once, but I forgot most of it, so let's get started.
Alright, so originally I had something else planned for today, but I saw this in my recommended. Cracked Rack did a reaction to my AlchemistArea interview. If you haven't kept up with the AlchemistArea stuff, I'll try to give like a TLDR. AlchemistArea was somebody...
You don't have to explain it. We definitely know who the hell AlchemistArea is. Like, literally everybody knows who he is, negatively. If I could label how many people probably know that AlchemistArea exists in a negative light, it's probably around 40,000, 30,000. The reason you don't see so much activity about it, though, is because those 30,000 people don't give a shit. We got into a feud. I eventually launched allegations that were other people's against him in an exaggerated kind of smear campaign kind of thing.
That's already not a good thing to admit to and be proud to admit to. I'm not going to lie. That's a bit of a rough opening for you there, Cracked Rack.
Dude, I literally don't give a shit. This was 8 years ago? This was a long time ago. And by Rex's logic, Area did all this creepy shit when he was 14. Well, I did this when I was 14 through 16, when I smeared Area. So shouldn't that be forgiven too? Not to mention, I was just being honest. Yeah, I smeared AlchemistArea. Did he deserve it? Yes. Did a lot of other people agree? Yes. Was it funny at times? Yes. Did he deserve to suffer? No. And it went way out of hand, I will agree with that, but you go about it in such an arrogant way. I won't get into. And the thing that was most, ridiculed about AlchemistArea was his hiccup fetish, because he had kind of an animated James thing going on.
So just to be clear, the hiccup fetish thing was a little bit strange.
Now look, I do not like hating on people's orientations or hating on how people look or what their sexual preferences are, but what kind of fucking psychopath has a fetish where similarly aged children are going to hiccup or burp or whatever into a microphone so that he can listen to it and masturbate? That is some Hannibal Lecter shit. And you tried to portray it as, oh, we don't know, he could or couldn't, who cares? I don't have proof of this, but I do remember when I was a kid, me and Area would discuss the hiccup fetish things. We would talk about our sexual fetishes. I'd be like, oh, I like this, I like this, I like this. And he would be like, oh, I love, just love. And he would just talk about what he likes. And hiccups were one of them, and he distinctly told me once he masturbates to hiccups. I can't prove it, it's so old, but god damn it, he did say that. In fact, now I really know he said this, because I have a distinct memory that is completely crystal clear of him telling me when we were about 15, I would say, maybe 16, that he loves when girls burp, because when they burp, their titties, their underdeveloped titties, shake and jiggle. I mean hiccups, not burps, but whatever. Honestly, it wouldn't make any difference. Fetishes, animator, it's just a really bad look. So anyways...
It's a bad look, he says. Alright.
Yes, it's a very bad look. Like, okay, me, I'm an edgy guy. You were correct in that sentiment, Rex. But there's no children involvement in my work. No children like me, and if they do, it's an anomaly. There's no children in my communities. There's no children in my Discord server, so I go have sex with some of the adults in the same server with the kids in it. Like, I'm just saying, it's fucking weird. And the fact that he's an animator of, let's be real, it's kids media, no adults watching that shit. He's an animator of little kids fucking shows, okay? And it just is such a bad look when he's like, oh, fuck yes, baby, hiccup into a mic. Actually, baby, can you hiccup for me just a few times for no reason? No reason. Okay. Oh, yes, I got that on my camera. That's literally what he did once. Now that I got that out of the way, AlchemistArea actually did an interview recent. I don't know why. I don't know why now, of all times.
I think it's because he saw my coverage of it and thought that, hey, you know, this guy is not actually sensationalizing information. There's like some level of opening that I can do to...
I sensationalize it because I don't respect AlchemistArea. I still think he's a loser. And I don't say that as like, oh, I'm some bully, because I'm not. He is a very low bar of being a human being, in my opinion, and I don't feel bad about anything I've done at this point, especially with how he's reacting like a big victim. And I know him much better than you do. I have had many more personal interactions with Area that go on to be disturbing than you ever have. Rex, have you ever seen my dick? Area has. I know Area a lot better than you, I can read him a lot better than you, and I think he sucks. Not just acting like a huge victim, but refusing to come back and acting like the world is victimizing him and refusing to just face the music and grow and make content. He's in control of that. I did not completely cancel him. I just made some negative remarks about him that he could have easily overpowered and been the better person on. Instead, he just cowered and went away forever. And
he would be 23, turning 24.
And pretty much nothing has changed. It's not that great of an interview. I thought it...
Okay, I'm curious to hear why you didn't think it was a good interview. I mean...
It's a bad interview because you act like you're being chummy with AlchemistArea, even though you're putting on this facade of indifference. I don't think that's the case. It's way too long. All you do is bibble-babble about nonsense, most of it. You're, like, talking about unrelated shit. I guarantee you may have intended well, but not a soul wanted to hear about AlchemistArea's schooling. Unless it was, like, really quick.
Or just, like, a lot of children are in those spaces, and I'm not even kidding.
It is a lot of children.
What the hell is this? Incriminate AlchemistArea, the show?
Okay. Take fucking clips out of context some more, I guess. Fine.
This is where I got mad. That was a joke. It may not have been the funniest joke, but it was a joke. A very obvious fucking joke. What kind of person do you think that I am that I hear someone just say, oh, there was children involved, and actually go, oh, they're a pedo, bro? I was joking. I was making fun of his terrible reputation, his meme status. You know what I'm saying? I was not trying to harm him.
Whatever. I didn't have full access to the channel. It was both me and Cracked Rack, and I can say Cracked Rack publicly because he was publicly involved, and he makes it known that he was publicly involved, so I don't feel obligated to.
Hey, don't say that word! Jesus Christ, there's children here.
What? I don't feel obligated to.
Hey, don't say
obligated. What?
That was another joke. I don't blame you for this one going over your head, but I was saying, don't say Cracked Rack. It's a fucking swear word. Jesus Christ, there's children here. Oh, wait, there's children here. Max, go away!
Dude, this is what I'm talking about! Dude, what the
Okay, I will admit, I went a little too hard on the pedo jokes in a video that should have been a lot more respectful and serious. But I really did just see a mechanical opportunity to make a joke that would be funny, so that's the only reason I said that.
Played earlier, and it's just like now you're like talking about this in bad faith, and it seems like you're saying he's not a pedophile because you want plausible deniability. That's kind of what that comes across as. It's just like, dude, what are we doing?
I mean, it would be funny if everybody came to the plausible deniability that Area was a pedo. However, I actually originally thought before this all started, I don't think he's a pedo, and I don't think he should be thought of. If I could go back in time, I would make it more, the article and everything, I'd make it more about him being perverted than a pedo. But the pedo thing was just kind of a cheap blow. And a sensationalist thing, yes. So that's the only thing I'll agree on. Other than that, my negative opinion of Area, and a lot of other people's negative opinion of Area, still holds strong.
Focusing on school a lot.
Area, you stop focusing on schools right this second. We talked about this.
Oh my fucking god, dude. This is so... Oh my god, this is so fucking bad.
I may have made a lot of pedo jokes, but that's pretty in character for me, and I think you were kind of overreacting to that. It was mostly a joke, because I think this situation is fucking ridiculous. I think AlchemistArea is fucking ridiculous, and I think you're being fucking ridiculous trying to defend him at all. Oh yeah, no, I tried to ruin you back then. I won't even deny it. But I will say this. It had more to do with me than it did with you, okay?
That is one of the worst things you could have fucking admitted. I'm not gonna lie. That's like actually.
No, it's not. It is not the worst thing to have admitted. It is just facts. We did this when we were teenagers. The original article used to cancel Area, and yes, a lot of people referenced the article. I think it has a couple thousand views at this point, which for a website on its own is pretty... It was more about me than him. I was just angry at him for rightful reasons, and I disproportionately took it out on him, and he spiraled in a way that made it worse for him. That's how I describe the situation. And after your behavior here, which we will get into, I don't feel bad about anything I've done to Area or said to Area. I think he deserves every last bit of it, and I think it's funny now. I used to think I actually have some sympathy for Area, now I just think it's hilarious. You're also not doing as much for Area as you think you are. You're making him look like an asshole, just by the sheer interview's existence at all. It's a joke, and nobody's going to take it seriously, and that's not even just my opinion.
I don't want to like get
Sure.
into that
Yeah.
because of
Okay, I don't mean to sound like a prude. I've definitely sent naked pictures of myself, but let's be real for a second. If you're 14, 15 years old and you send nudes to a 13, 14-year-old, that's still production of you-know-what.
Yeah, listen, it's still considered CP. Yeah, I agree. And legally, there might be a problem. And if Area got arrested for that back then, I wouldn't care. That's fine. Like, listen, if the law had to deal with it, then the law had to deal with it, right? That's fine.
So the problem and the controversy here is so much worse than anything I could ever even imagine doing. Having these production of CP sessions, even if you was a child, in the object show community, it just looks bad. And let's be real, Area never looked like a fucking teenager ever, or a child. Would you be comfortable with this 16, 17-year-old at the time guy going into a Discord server where your 13, 14-year-old daughter hangs out and would enjoy that this guy was interacting with them? I don't think so. And there's one allegation, I really don't remember a lot of it, but there was one allegation that he was dating a 12-year-old when he was 16. Pretty sure that's true. In that case, that's damning. That's disgusting. I'm all for, logic and reasonability, but that's just gross. You're a developed man almost at that point, and a 12-year-old girl is a fucking fetus. He looked like a 25-year-old creep when he was 13 years old, which I get it. He can't control that. But the fact he was having these production of CP sessions in the object show community, plus some of them were non-consensual and some of them involved weird fetishes, creepy as fuck, dude. He does not deserve to go back to the community, and I think it's fine that he isn't going to. But I also wouldn't care if he did, and I would say it's his right to come back and try to start over, which I think would bear some fruit for him.
To me.
yeah, the allegations are true. I did date a lot of people when I was like 14 and then just not stay with them for...
I mean,
That is not the allegation. You know that is not.
That was part of the allegation. That was part of it. Dude, this is another clip.
I did that because he is deflecting. He's just very obviously deflecting. Talking about any other allegations is deflection, by definition. He is literally just trying to change the subject into something more positive for himself. And I'm sorry that you're angry that I see through that. So anyways, I'm not even going to look at the rest of this video. It's so long and just disjointed in my opinion. He's just constantly bitching about different things at random intervals. Talking about how I shift the goalposts. Not to mention just getting ragefully angry at times that don't even feel like it warrants it. I just thought it was kind of a pathetic video. I did not like it. Kind of like how Rex didn't like my video. It seems that we have outgrown each other in a lot of ways. So basically, after this happened, I'll admit I got a little high, and I thought to myself, it'd be fun. An AlchemistArea interview with me. The stakes would be a lot higher. They'd still be low, but they'd still be a lot higher. I'd ask him the real questions without any bias for once, and he could answer for once and for all, and maybe all these people would leave him alone forever. That was my idea, and I thought it was kind of wholesome in my head. I guess it wasn't so wholesome in translation. And I get it, that sounds like, clickbait, desperate for views, but, Area's gonna talk shit, he's gonna do all this stuff. I think he's an adult, it's only fair that he comes on and discusses with me, because I'm actually pretty objective in real conversation, not so much when I'm making these formatted videos, but still. So I reached out to Rex, and it took him like 2 nanoseconds to reply. I was really shocked. It was like, what the fuck? He instantly saw it. He told me it was a bad idea, and I was like, why? He's like, it's a bad idea. We've already done it. And I'm like, you just made 2 videos about him. I mean, yeah, they were defending him, but still, shit. How come you get to have all the AlchemistArea fun? I don't get to have any of it. And he was like, well, if I was AlchemistArea, I wouldn't reply to you either. Boo fucking who. Area is not a victim in any of this. He has just somehow turned it into him being one, and you are contributing to that as well. I would type out paragraphs of points that I think are perfectly valid and fair and reasonable, and he would just literally tell me I was going in circular arguments, which is bullshit. No, I wasn't. And then he just blocks me out of nowhere, mid-argument, and gives me this bullshit, long-ass reply. Let's go ahead and read it together. And I don't mind leaking this because it's not like anything horrible. I just thought it was really disingenuous, as he claims I am. Okay, so he sent this to me, and I was fucking shocked. It was one of the most narcissistic things I've read in a long time. Let's go ahead and read it. Alright, listen here. I don't like how you handled a lot of the situation. I've always given you the benefit of the doubt. I've always tried to be charitable because I thought you actually cared about certain things and wanted to turn a new leaf throughout our history of us knowing each other, but it's always something with you. Oh, God. What a whiny fucking complaint. And what do you mean you've been charitable to me? What the fuck are you talking about? Do you mean having to spend time with me? You don't have a good history of handling allegations proportionately. I'm an extremely edgy comic act. At least that's how I see myself. No one goes to me for real information. They go to me for my opinions. And my opinion was a little out there, I'll admit that. And the fact you admitted you did these allegations for yourself more than the people involved really communicated a lot to me. That's not what I meant. Holy shit, that's not what I fucking meant. I meant I was insecure. It was more about my insecurities, ultimately, than anything he did wrong for the article to exist. But a lot of those complaints in there are still real. Then he goes, that's why I did my one video and was done with it, out of respect for the people involved. Did I have respect for Area when I wrote an article with slurs in it? Regarding him? But you wanted to ride the fucking cancel wave. You're too optimistic for your own good. No, I did not want to ride the cancel wave. I don't like Maxwell Hall. I've never liked Maxwell Hall, and I will never like Maxwell Hall. I have no ill will towards you. I legit hope you get your life together, if it is messed up because you've brought up that your siblings are giving you trouble. Well, my life is together, and your life is not so good that you can sit there and tell me to get mine together. I mean, holy shit. And yeah, I appreciate the sentiment, but I don't know if it's real or if it's just manipulation. Because it could be fucking manipulation so easy. But to sit here and try to shift the goalpost at every turn when you brought a criticism is preposterous. If you want to make more content on an area, go ahead. Make the same sensationalized garbage you've been making, because that's worked out for you well and it brings in views. But there just comes a point where I get tired of being charitable to people I believe mean well. There's no further point in talking about it with you. Best of luck, Cracked Rag. Just get your shit together. Yeah, fuck you. Okay. You're claiming that you were being charitable. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Do you mean when you gave me your time? Like I'm Harvey Weinstein and I'm like horrible to be around or something? I'm the bigger YouTuber last I checked, and I'm the one that shutted out your channel originally. Not that that's saying much, but still, I'm just saying. Come on, you were not charitable to me. I was mildly charitable to you. Even then, it's iffy. So you especially were not charitable to anything. Alright guys, I have to wrap this up. Rex, this whole thing was a stinky cesspit of trash. I'll tell you what, it did give me some content. Which, it doesn't mean everything to me, but I'm glad I got some content out of the way that is different from what I normally do. I also love making reaction videos, so I thought that was kind of fun. But yeah, that's the rest of the video. Rex, seriously, grow up. Stop being so goddamn sensitive and having fucking rage tantrums and just blocking people out of spite and rage. It's fucking obnoxious. It makes you look like a goddamn child. As for you, Area, you are not redeemed, and I don't care about you at all, and I don't think you care about me either, so I'm just gonna go move on like none of this ever happened, and I think you should do the same.